I've clicked start recording. So let's have a look at the levels. My level looks good. Tom, your level?
Hello, hello.
Oh, need to sort that out. All right now.
Tom, hello.
Tom?
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we are. That's better.
Is
Scott,
better?
what about you?
Hello, good evening and welcome.
Oh, cool. Those levels all look peachy.
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 Bit of Carter Unstoppable Sex Machine there.
What did
Hello,
you just
good
say?
evening, welcome. Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
Band.
Oh, you did say
90s.
what I thought you said, and I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, come on. It's for the
Carter
kids.
USM. Come on.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, welcome.
You're both talking a foreign language. What are you on about?
Just
Google them when you finish this and see
What am I
Carter the
Googling?
You're
Carter.
Googling. Yeah.
Carter the
Yeah.
Unstoppable Sex Machine.
Hey, Tom, I'm not Googling that. Do I need to put a private browser on?
No.
Yes.
What was it? Carter USM.
Yeah, that's what they were called. Carter USM. I saw them in university many years ago.
I'll have to take your guys' word for it on this one.
Trust us, Chris. There's some things that education cannot buy you.
You will absolutely love their songs, I think.
Well,
So-
I've heard of any.
No, but it doesn't matter. You might have heard of Last Living Boy in New Cross, or the only living boy in New Cross, I should say.
I mean, that's not ringing a bell. I'm not going to lie.
It's not Ed Sheeran, but then who is Edward Sheeran? So, local boy.
Oh, what was the other one? What was the Sheriff Fat Man? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Sheriff
selling
Fat
it.
Man.
Here you go. Come on, Chris. Ladies,
How niche is this? Am I likely to have
I
seen them?
thought
At
They
festival,
were
or are
they were big in the 90s indie scene, end of 80s, early 90s indie scene.
All right. Well, anyone listening to this intro can tell me whether they had also heard of them.
I bet a Six Music listener would be rocking it with Carter. They'd be like, yeah, we know those people.
Got to be a Six Music listener, though, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you get to a certain point in your life, and it's just Craig Charles and his funk, his trunk of funk. That's all I need.
Oh, excellent. Love it.
I'm afraid I'm still on my Radio 2 phase. I haven't quite progressed to 6.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
I thought that's after the Six Music, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
yeah, it's 1 foot away from 6 feet under, isn't it? Radio 2.
Yeah.
It's just like how politically correct can you get? Let's be friends with everybody. It's just it used to be good. It used to be good back in the day.
Back in the day of the Simon Mayer confessions, that was that was the day that I've got sad. I loved those confessions more than anything. I've got the book. I downloaded the podcast every week. Loved it.
We are really selling ourselves as cutting edge people, aren't we? This is it. This is expanding the audience to whole new levels. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. We sitting in the pub. I've got me half.
Oh dear.
I can still drink a full pint. Come on.
Someone say play the intro before we get ourselves in trouble.
Oh, play the intro.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Dice Please, the bite-sized Blood Bowl podcast brought to you by the people of Blood Bowl Life. My name is Chris. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Scott Bryant. Scott, what is your favourite biscuit?
Custard cream. End of. No
Great
more
choice.
discussions.
Great
Thank you.
choice. And by, obviously, Mr. Tom Hopple. Tom, favourite biscuit?
Chocolate hobnob.
Ooh, 2 solid choices there. I have to say I'd go for a bourbon.
No. Just everything you've
Shortest podcast ever. Goodbye, everyone.
I can't believe
Bourbon.
the shade I'm getting because I said bourbon. I mean, I was
Bourbon.
supportive of both of your choices. What's wrong with a bourbon?
There are so many better biscuits than a bloody bourbon.
It's just
Come
a long,
on.
thin custard cream full of chocolate. What's your beef?
It's not a custard cream. End of.
Custard cream, look, custard creams are great. I can't argue. This week,
let's
anyway,
move away from
let's move on. Let's
then.
get away from biscuits because I feel like biscuits may cause a bigger argument than anything else we've discussed. This week, as of the time of recording, we are 9 or 10-ish days into the Olympics. So why wouldn't we just jump on the bandwagon and do something relatively Olympic themed? So this week we have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Olympic events, or Olympic kind of genres, not the specific events, but the kind of pool in which those events are in. And we're going to decide which of the many players that you can select from any team within the Blood Bowl universe we think we would pick to build our prime Olympic team. 7 of the 8 events, Team GB has won gold in, so well done to them. And one of them I've just chucked in, and it will be very evident why I've put them in once we get to them. But we're going to decide which player we would get to play which event out of the 8. And where shall we start? I tell you what, gentlemen. Scott, why don't you give me a number between 1 and 7?
6.
6. Scott Bryant, which Blood Bowl player would you choose to be in your Olympic trampolining team?
Goblin. Just a little. Actually, a goblin or a snotling, just to see the little green fella flying in the air. The Doom Diver would be good because they can jump up and then maybe do a few, extra.
They would have more time in the air, wouldn't they? They'd have more time in the air to do their kind of positioning.
And I think the ratio, obviously, time in the air to body weight, I think that would be a good thing. So, yeah, I'd go for the Goblin Doom Diver just so he could bounce up once, stay up there for half an hour, then come back down, and then, yeah.
I did immediately doubted you, but you brought me round with your explanation. Tom, what are you thinking?
It's got to be a gnome. They have jump up.
He's gone for it. He's done it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been New Dice, please. Thank you very much. We're done.
The second time we've cancelled this podcast in a matter of moments.
We're not going to top that. This is why he's on Netflix. So just the jump up that's selling it for you?
Yeah, I think so. Trying to think. Or
wouldn't though the noise of the bell in their hat, because I'm assuming they all have bells in the end of their hat, wouldn't that annoy the crap out of you?
Yeah, it would. I suppose the alternative is a war dancer.
I mean, I'm going for the war dancer. Just look at the GW sculpt for the war dancer and the flamboyant position that it's standing in. Like yeah, you want the height, you want to be able to get in the air, but you also need, to pull your flamboyant shapes in the air. And I think the war dancer is going to be the one to do that.
Okay, I'm putting in an extra rule now.
Yeah.
Are we allowed star players on this or not? By the way.
No.
Okay.
No, you don't get professionals at the Olympics.
You
technically.
Do?
Well, I mean, you do, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm putting an extra little rule in this. Okay, you selected them. You cannot select those players for the next
deal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you got to have some variety within your team. Yeah. I'm going war dancer for the trampolining.
So that's war dancer, goblin, gnome.
Gut feeling. Then now we've all declared our players. Gut feeling: gold, silver, bronze.
Gold goblin, any end off, because we're going to be up there for all night. You're not going to see us come down.
Not.
No one else is going to get the chance to have a go because we're going to be up there all night.
It's got to be a war dancer's getting gold, goblins getting silver because they're going to be up there long enough to pull the shapes. That gnome is getting bronze.
Yeah, because it's going to fall off and hurt itself.
Yeah,
I think the war dancer would be too busy preening itself, and that's why I think it would probably miss out on its opportunity to have a go. It'd be doing its hair, buffing itself in the mirror, looking at itself. We all would if we had a physique like that. Let's be honest.
Yeah. If we all looked like war dancers, we'd all be buffing ourselves in the mirror.
Hey, if we all looked like war dancers, we wouldn't leave the house. But that's another story for another day.
That seems like a good point to move on to a different event. So, Tom, give me a number between 1 and 7, but don't give me the number 6.
2.
So, Tom, what Blood Bowl positional are you putting in to the pool? Who are you dunking in the swimming pool? Who is being your swimming champion?
Is this swimming or diving?
Swimming, not diving, swimming.
Ooh.
That's more tricky because diving, I've got some players in mind, but swimming is a bit trickier.
Okay, let me have a think. What
Can I go? Can
Yes,
I go
Scott,
while he's
go
waiting?
ahead.
I got two choices, but I'm going to go for a train troll. You need a river troll in a river. Get in there. Plus, his wake would basically, in the stench and the foulness, would force everybody else. They wouldn't go in the water. So therefore, it's the troll for me. Beautiful. Plus, as well, there's been lots of controversy this week in terms of that stretch, that final push for the wall, you know, to stretch and to get it. And they talk, no one's going to get near the arm and the reach of a troll. Just stays at one end of the pit, you know, one end of the pool and reaches out. And
You know what? Yet again, you started by saying a positional, and I thought you've gone mad, and you brought me round to it by the end.
The other one, I'm going to keep my other one up my sleeve, and I'm going to keep that for another.
I'm going to risk it. I'm going to say werewolf because they've got the speed.
No, he does. They doggy paddle.
And doggy paddle.
Doggy
Exactly.
paddle. What's that? All you need to do is throw a tennis ball in, and they'd be gone the other way.
I'm absolutely okay. We're going for the chameleon skink because you get to that final stretch, that final pull, tongue comes out, hits the end wall, gets you there before anyone else.
Oh,
you tell me which Blood Bowl player has a quicker tongue than a chameleon skink?
What about the slan teams?
There's no tongue there. They've got the legs, but they ain't got the.
Considering they're aquatic as well.
I mean, really, we should have all gone for slan, but I'm sticking with my chameleon skink.
Or we should have gone for the wizard who's turned someone into a frog.
Yeah, but he'd be as good in coach, right?
True.
Okay,
I'll stick with the troll. I'm happy.
Gold,
with that.
silver, bronze, then troll, werewolf, skink.
Sorry, Tom. Werewolf is shocking. He's getting your bronze all day, isn't he?
Not another bronze.
I've got to say, I think
him a bonio and a tennis ball. He's gone.
I think I've got to agree. I think werewolves get bronze. I am going to put the skink in silver. I think the train troll, because also the troll could just throw up in the water and make it horrible for anyone else to swim in as well. I think there's many benefits to that troll.
I think it's a thing of beauty.
So I'm going gold troll, silver skink, bronze werewolf. Tom?
Yeah, go for it. I still think werewolf would take a skink.
So you're thinking werewolf second, skink third?
I reckon werewolf silver.
Scott?
No, I've got to go with the skink second. Just knowing how filthy our dog gets in the Deben in the river.
You can't go for silver anyway because silver will kill it.
That's true. He's got to go. He's either got to be.
Oh, he's on fire.
He's on it. He's on it.
Lord.
This is like when comedians go to small festivals in order to practice their material.
Testing out my material.
Tom's just
That's what I'm doing.
Well, I will pick event number 3 then, and I'm gonna go. I'm really intrigued by this one because, again, I'm going to reiterate: we can't pick star players.
Okay.
Can't pick star players. So the next event in question is the equestrian. Now, I'm going to say...
Which number's that?
This is number 5. So I'm going to say that you can choose but which specific equestrian event that it's entering for this particular one. So you can choose whether it's dressage, whether it's cross-country, whether it's the third one. Scott, what's the third one?
Well, no, you've just ruined one of them anyway. In your first 2 goes, you got 3-day eventing. Yeah, you have dressage or show jumping.
Oh, okay.
Does a horse have to be involved? Yeah, but that's part of 3-day eventing.
Oh, okay, right. No, there doesn't have to be a horse involved. I think you are I feel like you're either picking the jockey or you're picking the replacement horse.
See, in that case, I'm going to go for the 3-day eventing, and I will go for the werewolf on this occasion because all you need to do is leave a trail, and it'll just follow it wherever it goes.
I think a werewolf is a good shout.
Sorry, Tom, you inspired me.
Tom, what are you thinking?
I was hoping that we would have to be riding a horse because I was going to go with a halfling.
Halfling on a horse?
You know, halfling on a horse. It's got the right stuff. So, you know.
It's on fire. It's absolutely on fire.
It's just...
I need to get a drum kit in here somewhere.
Give it 3 or 4 weeks, Scott. We'll be doing this on our own and he'll be, sunning it in LA.
Yeah, him and Ricky Gervais having a pint of lager. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Henry Cavill, converting him to Blood Bowl. Yeah.
I am gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go for the woodland fox.
That's a good shout.
I think it gets the bit between its teeth. It doesn't let go. Flies along. Let a snotling ride it. You need a big fox and a small snotling, but I think it'd work. It's got the pace.
I think
it's stunty, so no, like because it's stunty and Edge 2, no barrier that you can put in front of it will phase it. It's 2 up every single time.
Yep, and it would jump over it'll jump over the water jumps. It'll jump over the
a lot.
Fox is there.
So who's our gold, silver, bronze there? I've got to say, I think I've nailed it. And Tom, I'm really sorry. I think the werewolf is second. Halfling is third. Scott, what do you think?
I agree. Sorry, Tom. You just
I know. Yeah.
You're not a sporting gent, are you? No. I think the agility of the fox would slightly outdo the werewolf. I think the werewolf is a risk. He'll go off course, maybe get too excited by and distracted.
Tom, what's your top 3?
Yeah, I think the woodland fox, and then werewolf, then halfling.
Cool. So
cool. Right, that's our question. Next event. Hey, Scott, give me a number. You can choose 1, 3, or 4, or 7.
7.
7. So, Scott, this is an interesting one. Which Blood Bowl positional is going to be your pick for the mountain biking? This is tricky.
Yeah, so you want someone who is quite wiry, thin, a lot of stamina. So therefore, it's got to be someone who will continually come back and back and back and not really weigh a lot. So therefore, I think it's either got to be a ghoul runner or I think it could be a zombie lineman. But I think I'd go for the ghoul runner. They're endless energy, and they're always just going to keep on going.
Which number is BMX?
That's number 7.
Number 7.
So ghoul runner for you, Tom.
I think Elven Union Blitzer.
Okay.
That they've got agility. They've also got block, but they've also got sidestep, so they can dodge out of the way. They're quite agile on the bike.
See, for me, this is gutter runner all the way. I think you've got that. You've got that agility. You can dodge the obstacles that come your way. You're kind of, you're streamline, bouncing around the corners. For me, it's gutter runner all the way. I can't see them failing that. The only problem would be, and I acknowledge it's a problem, but it's, an inescapable problem. That tail getting caught in that chain is going to really kind of mess you up.
I think if you come off, you get a puncture or you come off your bike, I think that's it. It's instant death.
Yeah, instant.
Yeah, and I think if you come off the bike, the gutter runner would just keep going and the bike would just stay stationary and wouldn't realize they're disqualified when they get to the bottom.
I think there's more risk with the gutter runner. I think the elf would the Elven Union one. I think I hate myself for saying this. Tom gets my vote.
I think Tom's redeemed himself there because because I think mountain biking and any like obstacles you come or like trees or anything that you've got to kind of weave around. I think you can he's a bit steadier, to get through.
Yeah, cool. I will.
I'll go Elven Blitzer top, and I'm going to put the gutter runner second. I think it's a strong choice. Maybe not the best, but it's a strong.
Yeah.
And then no, actually, you know what? I'm going to put myself in bronze because I think actually the Ghoul Runner is a good shout. I think it's sturdier, but less agile. So I think it would maybe have a fine balance. So that's my 1, 2, 3. Scott?
I think the Elven Union got a Blitzer as first. Second one, I'll put my Ghoul Runner because it's mine. And third, go for the Gutter Runner. I think the Gutter Runner would get too excited, and if anything happened, as you say, it would just run off.
I think for the Gutter Runner, it would be their first Olympics. But for like the Elven Union Blitzer and for the Ghoul Runner, it would be like, you know, it's their second or third, bit more experience, knows what's going on, you know.
Yeah, I would do Blitzer, then Ghoul Runner, then Gutter Runner, purely on the basis that the Gutter Runner and Ghoul Runner, although the Ghoul Runner has better movement, it has, although the Gutter Runner has better movement, it doesn't have the same amount of strength, and it wouldn't be able to push those little pedals that hard.
I think you're right.
I do like the idea though of having either a Crocs or either a Minotaur on a bike, just going straight, not going around the course, just going in a straight line through that forest.
Oh, Minotaur is a great shout.
Tree, get out of my way. It's like, I don't care. I'm just going straight in a straight line, and you know, woe betide if you get in the way.
I feel like that is the quickest time, but almost definitely disqualified for going out of bounds. Almost definitely. Tom, number 1, number 3, or number 4?
Number 3, please.
3.
You've won a toaster. No,
a cuddly toy. For number 3, so we're going from the mountain biking to the track cycling. So we're now like in the velodrome, slightly different setting. I'm now immediately regretting the fact that I've burnt my Gutter Runner.
Yeah, that's why I was Gutter Runner, me Gutter Runner. Also, they're quite good at going round in circles. It's like a big wheel.
That's it. Yeah, you're down, aren't you?
So you're going Gutter Runner, Scott?
I'll go Gutter Runner.
I want to stay Gutter Runner, but then I just want to be different. So what else would I do? I think actually, if you had something, what's the fastest big guy? Is that going to be a Roger on 6?
Roger's 5,
Crocs.
Isn't it? Crocs.
No,
is 6.
Roger's 6.
Crocs is also 6. Do you want that big guy? You're not
Well,
very
no offense. I'd take the Roger. Look at his thighs. Look at Sir Chris Hoy's thighs. Sir Chris hasn't done bad, has he? Because it's all about power.
Chris Hoy can crush skulls in between those things.
I'm going to absolutely plagiarize Tom's idea of a rat in a wheel going round and round and round, but I'm going to put the Roger because I think as long as you point him in the right direction and get him riled up and off to go, I think he's going to be there all day. He will not stop. That might be a problem, but I think he'll be good.
I think those are 2 very good options. I think this time I'm playing my regular skink card because they might not be quite as they don't have the strength in the thighs of the Roger.
You mean your Saurus block? Your Saurus or your skink?
No, my skink. Okay. Not my chameleon, the regular skink. Not as strong, not as powerful thighs, but quicker than the Roger. Not as quick as the Gutter Runner, but stunty. So any issues with that bike, any need to overtake someone, it's a lot easier. There's no any barriers are not going to be taken into account.
You do overtake people in certain races, obviously, like sprint or other parts, but yeah, okay.
So I think they've got that. I think they'll be better. They might not be as quick as the Gutter Runner, but if they get the opportunity to overtake, there's going to be less boundaries.
I think in pure speed and pure time, I think the Roger, if you got thighs like Sir Chris Hoy, I think that's it. That's all you need.
I think I'm going to give you gold only because you've consistently referenced the size of Chris Hoy's thighs. So I'm going. I'm going to say Roger gold. I'm going to give it to the Gutter Runner because I think it is down to pace. So silver for the Gutter Runner. I'll give the skink bronze. Tom.
Yeah, I think I agree on that. Yeah, they've also got frenzy, and you don't want to go up against them on a track, do you?
Frenzy makes them difficult to stop, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Scott, are you sticking with that as well?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. I'll pick the next one then. Oh, and I'm torn between these 2.
1 and 4.
1 and 4. Because I'm saving 8 till last. Let's go for 4, shall we? We'll go for 4, and we're going to go for the rowing. So, who is your Blood Bowl positional that you would enter into the rowing? Now, this is tricky because I'm like, you kind of want the arm strength. So I am leaning towards one of the throw teammate options. but you also don't want to be too kind of weighty and too heavy in
Yeah,
the boat, do you? So you want kind of a mix of the two. So I'm kind of leaning towards just a regular ogre, because you're probably the most kind of agile, I think, of the throw teammates and the quickest of throw teammates. So I think I'm going for an ogre.
Oh, interesting. I was going to go for a Croxagore.
Ooh, well, Croxagore, I guess it's got the strength there, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's aquatic anyway.
I guess it's like an alligator type, yeah.
I was thinking,
really
okay, you can't go like outright strength, so you can't get a tree. Although a tree in a boat would be very entertaining in terms of, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking, is the tree part of the boat? Do you make the boat from the tree and just leave the arms to do that?
My problem with the Crocs is where it would stick its tail.
Be the rudder.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, isn't it? We're just like. Yeah. The mummy, I think the bandages would get too well. I think you've got to be looking at a strength 5 something in terms of, you need that, you know, power to weight ratio, really. I agree with the ogre. He's got, you know, good solid arms and upper body strength.
I don't want to give away this gold medal, Scott, but what about the 0 the movement 4 strength 5 no negatrait tomb guardian?
That's a good shout.
Because the ogre's got the negatrait, which is his problem. But is the tomb guardian a little bit dry? Spends all that time in the desert, in the pyramids with its sand. Is it a bit dry? Is the water going to upset it?
Yes, it's going to get soggy and wet and then sink.
No. Does it just collapse?
Yeah.
Vampires don't like running water, do they? Or was that werewolf?
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't realize that either of them didn't like running water, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, I read it, or someone told me once. Anyway, you've got to be looking at that. I think it's got to be a big man. I'm struggling to think of which big man would it be. An orc would be good, though, wouldn't he? Come on, an orc. You know,
like a big and blocker.
I'm thinking, yeah, a big unblocker. A trained troll would be too much. A black orc is survival, but I think a big unblocker would be absolutely demon in that boat. I think they'd be up for that.
Okay. I think I'm giving gold. I'm going to give gold to the Croxagore because it's got the strength, it's got the movement,
and the tail,
and it's got the rudder.
Yeah.
I'm then going to give the ogre. I think I'm going to give the ogre second, and I'm going to give the big. Because the ogre,
that's just like saying, it's my pick, so I'm going to give it second. This is my idea, and I don't like to lose.
The ogre is quicker. The ogre is quicker than the big and blocker and stronger.
Okay,
Tom.
I think I like my idea of a Croxagore. Sorry, but then equally, out of those two, a big and blocker is going to be lighter than an ogre. And also the ogre will bonehead at the start.
That's true. That's true. You've got less risk, haven't you?
You've ever seen the film with Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow called Fat Hal? You
mean Shallow Hal?
Shallow Hal, is that the one? Yeah, yeah. And there's the comedy bit in the boat when the boat is going up. That's what I'd see, Tom. That's what would happen with Chris's ogre. Yeah.
Weird fun fact. I read something recently that said where an interview with Jack Black where he said that's the only film he's made that he's been absolutely ashamed of.
Really?
Yep. The only film that he wouldn't make again that he's made is that one.
A TMZ exclusive there from
exclusive. I followed him outside of his LA mansion or wherever he lives. Probably not an LA mansion. He seems like a nice guy. Okay. Well, it's only number 1 and number 8 left, and we'll do number 1 first, which is the triathlon. Now, I'm going to dive straight in. For me, there is one positional that I feel like is the all-round positional of all teams. I'm putting the Valkyrie in that triathlon. Because I feel like the Valkyrie, especially in that Norse team, the Valkyrie can, if you want that Valkyrie to be your ball carrier, it can be. If you want it to be a passer, it can be. If you want it to be your agile catcher, it can be. It's got dauntless. If you want it to be your blitzer, it's got strip ball, it can be. That Valkyrie, there's not a single stat increase that you could random on that Valkyrie and be upset with. Because if it was quicker, great. Passing's better, great. Agile's better, great. Strength's better, great. I think it is the most all-round player. So if I want someone who can do the running, do the cycling, and do the swimming, it's the Valkyrie.
I'm going to go for a Dark Elf runner. And the reason I'm going to go for a Dark Elf runner is they're nimble, they're quick, and given the free things people have been catching in Paris this week in the Seine, I just want to use the words dump off in there and just let people make up their own mind.
So your logic is that the runner, if it's halfway through the swim and it catches E. coli, it can just dump it off to the side and not be sick. Is that the logic? It can
dump off anything in that river and you wouldn't notice it, and it would make it faster and better.
There's a nonsensical logic to that. You haven't sold me like you have some of your other ones, but I do get where you're coming from.
It's all of that just for one cheap joke about dump off and river stain. That's all.
One joke. You'll take bronze because you've got that joke.
I've been reading the Tom Hovell book of gags for Netflix specials. That's what I've been.
Here it comes then, Tom. What are you going for the triathlon?
Vampire thrower. Reason behind it. Got good strength, good agility, and it's also got hypnotic gaze. So it'll put your players off. You'll just be standing.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but we could literally have used the hypnotic gaze card for every event.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Imagine having your opponents having hypnotic gaze in the trampolining. So you're halfway through your pike or whatever, and then you just get frozen and just land and bounce off into the crowd.
Exactly. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
I disagree with that. Sorry, Tom. I was thinking about War Dancer, because obviously a War Dancer is, jack of all trades and, ridiculously good. But yeah, come on, a vampire thrower? No.
Okay.
I'm just struggling with that one.
I'm gonna put. I'm putting my Valkyrie in gold on the top set.
Yeah, I've got to say that. Yeah,
I'm putting.
Yeah, when you said it, I was a bit like, oh well, there's no point playing.
I think I am putting the. I think I will put the vampire thrower in silver, because that agility I think will make them good in the crossovers, in the kind of switch where you get out of the pool and then you got to start running, or you got to jump on your bike, or whatever order they do it in. I think that puts you in a good stead for that.
No, hang on. Vampire runner, what, Edge 2?
Yeah.
So is the Dark Elf, and the Dark Elf doesn't have bloodlust. So
yeah, but the Dark Elf is too busy dumping off in the Seine. It's not really not sure what he can do.
The runner has had the dump off and it's lighter now, so it can go even quicker.
You know what? You've sold it. I'm putting the Dark Elf in second and the vampire down in third. I didn't think about the weight.
Got to think about the physics.
Weight distribution. It's all about weight distribution. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Last event then. Okay. And it is the shooting. And what I'm going to say is that you can pick. It's a projectile event. So. I should have really picked the shot put, but we're going to go with the shooting because I've said it now. It's a projectile event, so I want, and it doesn't have to be combinations that go together, but the best Blood Bowl player to send the projectile, and the best Blood Bowl player to then be the one that lands.
They don't have to be two team.
No, they don't have to be two that go together. So you don't have to go for a halfling and a tree. You can go for a tree and a goblin, whatever combination you want of a thrower and a lander.
Wood elf thrower, wood elf catcher.
No. It's got to be. We've got to be throwing a big guy here.
It's got to be a big guy.
Oh, sorry, you got to be throwing something not a ball.
Your projectile is a player.
Oh, okay. Come back to me anytime.
Okay, all right. Tom, any ideas?
I would
got. Should I lead? Should I
go
lead
for
as
it.
I'm throwing this on you?
This is just dear listener. This is Chris. I've been thinking about this for the last several weeks, and I've been waiting for an opportunity to force this into a podcast.
Exactly.
Spring it on us, Chris.
So we've all seen the pictures of the Turkish shooter who sat there with his hand in his pocket, pistol out, doing his firing. Coolest man on the pitch. So I was thinking, which thrower would look the coolest like that, right? And I would love to see a tree with its hand in its pocket, pair of glasses on, chuck in, and I'm going to get it to throw a knobbler. So the knobblers are only strength 1. So in my head, they're a bit lighter, which may be to the disadvantage. Maybe you can't get as much sort of power behind them. I feel like their kind of titchy nature might mean that when they land, they could just kind of sneakily like move around a little bit to kind of get themselves in the right place to hit the right bit on the spot. I think if you want to hit a target with a player, I think you want a smaller one. So I think it's snotlings or knobblers, and I think knobblers are basically snotlings, but they can't swarm. And I think knobblers are my preferred. So I'm having a tree, chucking a knobbler. Tree is the best thrower of a player in the game. As far as
My concern with that, Chris. Sorry, Chris. My problem with that is the tree is too big and too strong for that knobbler. Now, if you'd have said the tree and a halfling, I would have gone, yeah, accept that, great. Because if you think about things like the javelin, and you see this all the time, or the discus, or the hammer, even all the throwing events, ironically, if they have too much power and not the trajectory, then things will go up but not far. So they'll get the height but not the distance. So that's why I think you've got to have this, this balance between, size. So if you'd have said halfling or gnome and tree, I'd have gone yes, but you didn't. But in terms of knobbler, I would go with the ogre.
I see your point, and I raise you that in this particular instance, we're talking about the shooting. So you're aiming at a target, yeah? So
yeah, that's the point. You'll go over.
Having more power, if that more power hits the target, the splat that you will get will cover more area.
Oh, so he doesn't have to survive?
No. What? No. Well, why does he need to survive it? I'm thinking the knobbler is the splattiest. Goblins are hardy. Halflings are a bit hardy as well. They're not going to splat quite as well. A knobbler is going to splat better than anyone. That's going to cover more of the target.
Going to splat better than a snotling?
I think there's probably similar splat potential. Arguably, because snotlings can swarm, but they are more of them, and therefore they're more splattable.
That just makes the projectile irrelevant.
No, because I think a goblin with strength, with armor 8, is less likely to splat than an armor 6 knobbler.
Okay. So what are you going as your projectile then, Scott, with your ogre?
No, I'm going to go for halfling, because I think if the halfling can direct itself in flight as well, I think that would be very good. Oh, look, he's thought of something. I've just destroyed his.
You just broken.
Tom, you go. You go with Mr. Trick here, but you go.
Okay. I am going with, I think, a tree man as well, because of the strength.
Which tree man now, to be particular?
Oh, the Aetherian forestry man.
Okay.
Because they've got strong armor, but they don't have loner.
Yeah, you want the one without loner.
Yeah. And I would go with a doom diver.
Yeah, that's what I just
the dart, isn't it?
I thought I've missed a trick. The doom diver is the obvious choice because it's just going to glide itself exactly where you want it to go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to go for.
I didn't use it because I've used doom diver in the trampolining.
Yeah, so I've got to give. Tom's got to take gold on that one. I can't. It's the sensible choice, isn't it?
Fantastic.
I think a halfling's too heavy. It's too full of pies. I'm not throwing that. Too full of potatoes. I'm gonna have to throw the. I'm gonna have to throw the knobbler. I'm gonna have to put myself in silver.
I'll take that with bitterness and much. Yeah. All right.
Very good.
That is our 8 events then. I didn't keep track of the medal table. I probably should have, but oh well. If anyone's wants to go back and listen to this several times and keep a track of the medal table, maybe I'll do it at some point afterwards, and I'll list which country, the United Kingdom of Chris, the Democratic Republic of Scott, or the People's Republic of Tom manages to get their the most medals. We'll find out later. If you have been watching the Olympics and pondering on which positional would make the best player to be in which events, then hey, why not get in touch and let us know? Scott, if people want to get in touch with us and tell us their Olympic team of Blood Bowl positionals or anything else that could possibly interest them, how do they get in touch?
If they want to get in touch with us, Chris, there are several ways to do it. The best way to get in touch with us is to email us at newdiceplease@gmail.com. So that's all one word, all lowercase, newdiceplease@email.com. Whether you are in the UK, outside the UK, whether you are from North America of Dutch origin, whether you are from Corby or anywhere else that you might find yourself in the world, please get in touch with us. Please let us know what you think, and what would excite you most about Olympics and Blood Bowl.
Fantastic. Well, this isn't the only thing we do. We do various other things, and if you want to catch some of the other things that we do, Tom, where can people find us?
Absolutely. So we have a local league in Woodbridge with Aardvarks and Dragons, and you can catch us on Twitch. Just search for Bloodbowl Live, and you can also get that. And this podcast also on YouTube under Bloodbowl Live.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much, Scott. Next week, if we're still enthralled by the Olympics, I'm sure we'll have more Olympic ramblings or something else. Who knows? Every week is an absolute mystery. We turn up, we start recording, we have no idea what's going to come out. So, hey, let's see what happens next week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We have been New Dice Please, and we will see you next time.